Hello, Sagittarius. I hope you're doing well. Let's go ahead and get into your June 2019 reading. June 2019. First card popping out, you have the Knight of Cups. Could be an emotional exchange with somebody, sharing your emotions and feelings, somebody offering you a date, wanting to go out more. Could just be emotional communication. You have the Hangman and the Knight of Wands. So the Hangman and the Knight of Wands, I'm pulling a Celtic cross. The Hangman here with the Knight of Cups, it's almost as if somebody is like, I don't want to say second guessing, but considering an offer, considering what the intention of the person that they're dealing with is. Some of you, it may not be a bad thing, you know, I mean, it might just be a connection with somebody. You have the Ace of Wands here, which is moving forward. It is being exuberant, feeling happy about a situation. If that's the grounding of this energy, that's positive. You may want to get to know this person a little bit more, and there's nothing wrong with that. I would say try not to be so serious, though. For some reason, I'm picking up an energy here where it's like somebody's feeling very serious about it, or maybe it could be a little bit more playful. That might be part of what we need to pay attention to. So, okay, so you have the Three of Cups here popping out for the recent past. Now, I can understand if you are hesitant or looking at a situation where, like I just said, let it be more playful, let it be a little bit easier. You may be coming from a situation where you've had a lot of frustration and pain with people, and that may be why you're second guessing somebody, or that may be why you're having a frustration with this person. But the energy that's presented here at the base of the reading is to go, it's to try to experience new things, or yeah, I mean, you may be dealing with somebody from the past, but some of you are just dealing with issues from the past, frustrations from the past, things that we've held on to. And the present energy here. You have the Page of Pentacles. So Earth sign energy, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. This is new beginnings. It's starting things. It's studying what you need to know. You could be studying a person, keeping one eye on them. Again, I'm feeling this kind of heavier, I guess, energy where it's like you might be really scrutinizing somebody. Some of you may need to do that. And if you feel that that's your situation, then definitely by all means do it, you know. Some of you might need to ease up on somebody though, and like not give them the third degree, or, you know, just kind of allow them to open up to you, or you open up to them. It's slow progress, but the emotional connection from somebody is there, or wanting to be there. Four of Wands in the near future, or the future in general. Four of Wands talks about connection. It talks about stabilizing your relationships in really, really, you know, advanced relationships. It can talk about you know, marriage. It can talk about moving in together. It talks about creating foundations within relationships, stabilizing them, bringing them together, being happy with the people that we love and we care about, recognizing that, you know. Sometimes it's moving in together. I'm not going to say that that is what's going on, but it could be, you know, it could be a situation where we have somebody in our relationship where we're considering moving in together. And you may be on the fence about that. You may be having to think about that in a lot of different ways. Think of the opportunities, think of the potential. Don't think of just how much money you could save. You know, look at the person and say, do I really love you? Does this really work for me? Do I feel like I could live with you? Do I feel like I could do this with you? I feel that it's important to not focus so much on the potential ease that it may bring on a financial level. Be careful about that. Show me more for Sagittarius. So your current energy. is the High Priestess. The High Priestess is an interesting card. It's a card of Virgo and Pisces. You also have Pisces here with the Hangman, and Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio with the Knight of Cups as well. The High Priestess talks about things that are hidden, information that is not yet revealed. You may be holding on to your decision at this point, not moving forward with somebody, whether it be in a relationship where you're trying to consider moving in or taking it to the next level, which could be engagement, where you are dealing with a situation potentially. This could also be a situation where you are evaluating somebody, that you've potentially been dating, and it may be hard to get over this past stuff, whether that be with this person in particular or whether that be with somebody in the past. It feels like there's a connection to the energy in the past where you may not have experienced either truth, or things may have been unspoken, unseen to you, unknown to you, and it may have left a kind of a frustrating point in yourself. So this card is talking about using your intuition. It talks about really, evaluating a person and their potential motives for what they may be. Has this person shown you any BS? Are they pretty much on the level for you? Do they want to be open and honest and genuine? Are they a loving person? Is it an equal exchange? Is it reciprocal? Are you having to second guess everything? This can talk about being in yourself, second guessing yourself sometimes, talking about being in yourself, paying attention to your intuition. You can also talk about not communicating what you're feeling and thinking, holding in secrets, not divulging everything. It can also talk about the other person doing that too. Is that why you have the hangman over here as the obstacle, like, having to look at everything, having to evaluate, having to suss things up. So I'm going to clarify these cards a little bit. I just want to get the rest of them out, okay? So what's coming toward you, Sagittarius? You have two. You have the Page of Wands and the Page of Swords popping out. It's an interesting combination. So I feel this is two people. I feel it's a back and forth exchange. I feel one wants to go forward, one wants to communicate about the logistics of things, and the one that's wanting to communicate about the logistics is kind of on the fence, is looking at everything from a different vantage point, and there's some sort of defensiveness here, and the other person's like, well, we can do this, we can move forward, what's going on? It's kind of a face-off in a weird way. And I feel like you or somebody here is not completely being open about what they're feeling. It's just kind of a boundary thing right now. Hopes, fears, concerns, worries. So you have the Nine of Cups. It's pretty good energy, Sag. The Nine of Cups talks about emotional fulfillment. It talks about getting closer to the things that you want. It can talk about being in the company of people who feel good to you. They're in tandem with you. They work in tandem with you. They're easy connection, something that is harmonious. A lot of people talk about getting your wishes fulfilled. Like it's, I don't think it's just wish fulfillment. Like, if every time I saw the Nine of Cups popping up in a spread for me, like I'd be such a different person experiencing such a different life, okay? It's interesting though. Here in this particular card, again, this strange ambivalence, okay? It's like somebody's putting their emotions on the back burner and they're having to sit in regard to the direction they want to go in. I want to show you this card. It's very interesting. Look at him. The Nine of Cups is often a happy card. This person doesn't look too happy. They look pensive. They look frustrated. They look like they're not sure yet, sullen. You have the Eight of Cups upright here. So it almost seems like this is on the mind. This idea of not sure, not leaving. What do I need to do? And then you have this Ninth Cup hanging upside down. in this. It's like the representation of the Nine of Cups, which should be essentially happy, something you want to engage in. But then we have this strange card. I don't know why I was pulled to use this deck, but I really was. It's as if like you're contemplating the potential of this, and then you have the Ace of Cups in the middle upside down. So in reverse, it's almost as if like not wanting to accept an offer, being afraid of it, not connecting with somebody on okay. So okay. That's interesting, Sagittarius. What I'm feeling right now in a big wave is loving somebody, but maybe not connecting to them on all the levels that you would hope to. Maybe not being able to find the type of common ground as far as like communication, emotion, whatever it is that you may be seeking. There's some sort of like disconnect. It doesn't mean that the person's bad or wrong. It just means that something's not flowing here. And I think it should be happy, but somebody's concerned here that it might not end up that way. That's good. Evaluate things, you know. We have one person wanting to go and kind of, I feel, being patient, but also ready to go. And the other person is held back, wanting to communicate, wanting to watch the situation develop further before they jump into something. That's solid, you know, good. Show me the outcome. So good. Five of Pentacles popping out in reverse. All of these cards are upright. The King of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So it's interesting, Sagittarius. It's like, in the end, you know, all of this evaluation, all of this consideration and worry and concern that it may not turn out the right way, you know, whether it be through emotional disconnect or, you know, you see that this could be happy, but it's like you're putting it on the back burner for whatever reason. The Five of Pentacles in reverse, this talks about letting go of mindsets that keep us stagnant and unsuccessful. It talks about opening ourselves up for more, you know, getting out of sometimes financial debt, getting out of putting ourselves away. Like, you know, sometimes we hide ourselves away because we're afraid of something or we're not sure that we want to go into something. Here, it's as if that Five of Pentacles is like, okay, you might be afraid that something is not going to go right in your favor, or it might end up being a shit show, but I don't know, something here feels like you might want to try this. If it's literally just hesitancy from the past, like where you have experienced BS with people from the past, you know, be careful about that and how you introduce it into your current relationships. You know, there's a lot to be said for having predisposed or thinking things are going to be one way when they may not be that way. It's like you're projecting. I don't want to say that you are, but it almost is in that vein and that feeling of like projecting things to be a certain way because we've experienced them in the past, maybe in a certain way. So King of Swords at the bottom of the deck, you have Aquarius, Libra, Gemini here, energy, air sign energy. And then under that, it's interesting, you have Death, which is Scorpio energy. And under Death, you have the Ten of Wands, which is also essentially learning from our lessons, letting go of burdens, wanting to change things, you know, experiencing something for so long, and then we have to let it go to get the benefit of the experience. And under all of that, you have the Six of Wands, which is positivity, recognition, understanding the direction you want to go in, praise, connection with other people, being on the same level. And under that, the Two of Cups. So I feel what's going on here, Sagittarius, is an energy here where it's like we have connection to the past. We're concerned about the past and if it would play out again with this person. If you're dealing with the same person and you're having to evaluate that, absolutely. If you're dealing with a new person that hasn't shown you terrible things, but you're still concerned about how to go about it, that makes sense too. I would just say, don't let fear get in the way of your own happiness, okay? So let's go ahead and clarify these cards for you, Sagittarius. Manager's present for Sagittarius, clarify. Okay. So let's see what the Knight of Cups is about. Show me the Knight of Cups. So Knight of Cups, you have the Page of Pentacles here. The Page of Pentacles is sitting on top of the Nine of Cups. Knight of Cups. It's like that. At the bottom of the deck for this Page of Pentacles, it just popped out for the Knight of Cups. You have the Ace of Cups. So this is essentially a very positive movement forward. It's somebody that wants to show you connection. It's somebody that wants to be open with you about emotions, free-flowing. It may take a little while. You may be the Page of Pentacles. You may be studying this person. You may be juggling whether you want to put your energy elsewhere or put it into a relationship. With the Page of Pentacles, though, it's almost interesting here just because it's like it's slow to start and it's the beginning of something, but it's slow. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, slow is actually great when you're getting into a relationship. A lot of people just jump into it. I've known people to get married after a month of being together. I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing, crazy? Yeah. The Hangman for Sagittarius. So you have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse here for the Hangman. This is also an interesting card to have here. It's like, I want to read it two ways. So with this, you have two cards of contemplation, deep contemplation. The Seven of Pentacles often talks about evaluating a situation for what it is, what you've seen. Can I contribute to this? Is this something that makes sense for me in my life? Do I want to continue on with this? With it in reverse, a lot of the time it can be just giving up on a situation entirely, and that may be part of the obstacle if you're considering just giving this up. Or it's considering giving up that, how some of us can ruminate on things from the past. We can hold them in, we can keep them stagnant, and they affect our experience in the future. And it may be a situation here with the Hangman where you are releasing that, you're letting go of it, you're opening yourself up. Here you have the Knight of Swords under the deck for that Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So this is essentially energy where we're very blunt communication, even if it's with ourselves. It's seeing the truth of a matter. It's opening yourself up and seeking the truth, the deeper meaning of a situation, especially here with the King of Swords at the bottom of the deck too. If this is your energy, Sagittarius, if you're not dealing with an air sign, this is an energy where we are less in our emotions. We put our emotions on the back burner. Do you see all that water behind him? And he's sitting up here in the foreground, putting our emotions on the back burner, taking a time out, being more logical in the way that we go about making a decision versus being emotional. Yeah, so let's keep going. Show me the Ace of Wands for Sagittarius, please. Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups, Knight of Cups. I'm sorry. In this deck, the Prince is the King. No, he's the Knight. I'm getting my decks confused. This is tough. This is the Knight. So we have the Knight of Cups with the Ace of Cups for the Ace of Wands. So this is wanting to move forward, give, exchange, and love, connection, emotion. It's genuine connection, and it's moving forward. I don't see necessarily a problem with that, you know. If anything, somebody here may need to heal a little bit more from their past experiences, so they're not bringing that into the future energy with somebody. But it feels like there's the potential for some really nice love here, some really nice connection and genuine honesty. Also, I'm picking up this feeling right now. Same-sex relationships, for some reason, I'm feeling there's a connection to here, and not all of you. This is just for a spare few, or a few. What am I feeling? Some of you may have experienced typical relationships within like a same-sex situation where it's been much of the same. You've been treated over and over again like the same way or the same thing, and it's just kind of exhausted you. And you have here a potential where there's something more with somebody, and it's scary. That's what I'm feeling. It's scary. Okay, move on. Sorry. Show me the Three of Cups in the past for Sagittarius. Show me the Three of Cups in the past. So you, in the past, you have the Sun in reverse, and you have the Five of Pentacles here. So the outcome of this reading is the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Here we have it upright with the Sun in reverse. So in the past, somebody may have left you out, shut you down, not talked to you about what was going on in their situation, kept you in the dark. That can be very traumatic to deal with, you know, especially if you feel feelings for somebody and they just kind of ditch you or ghost you or don't communicate with you about the essence of the relationship or where it's going, you know, and they choose to just kind of shove you out of the way. That's no way to deal with a person. And they may have been dealing with 3 people in the past, you know. That feels like a situation where the energy has come from. I don't know if this is the same person that you're dealing with that with, because this is general reading. The energies are going to pick up for thousands of people. It's not just one person. So with the Three of Cups in the past and the Sun in reverse with the Five of Pentacles, like here, even the bottom of this card, read it. Worry. Yeah, this is frustrating energy. It's not being able to trust somebody or a situation, you know. That's tiring. You don't want to be in that. And I don't feel that this situation is going into that direction, but it just feels like you may have hesitancy to get involved in something because of the past. Show me the Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Cups popping out in reverse here. So it's interesting. Now, this energy, whether you're the Page of Pentacles or they are, somebody here is wanting to come back to a situation. And it could be somebody from the past wanting to come back, you know, an earth sign potentially. But what I'm feeling here is that we have this emotional ambivalence. And with this Page of Pentacles, it's like recognizing the situation for the potential for it to grow, you know, the potential for growth here. And we're coming back to it. It's like we may have been on the fence about it, but we're coming back to it, or at least we're warming up to the idea of wanting to go further with somebody. Show me the Four of Wands for Sagittarius. You have the Four of Cups popping out in reverse. So interesting energy. The Four of Wands, stabilizing foundations, creating connections with people, taking things to the next level, moving in, your home life together, taking things to the next stage. The Four of Cups talks about accepting an offer. It talks about no longer being on the fence about something, opening yourself up to the potential. Upright, the Four of Cups can talk about stagnation. It can talk about boredom. I want to talk about the stagnation aspect of that card a little bit more, though. When we are, cups represent emotions, feelings, emotions. When we are in a space of emotional stagnancy due to what we've experienced, Four of Cups, what's behind it? Three of Cups. You have the Three of Cups here in the recent past. If this is something that you've gone through where you've had your heart hurt by somebody, you may have been holding on to feelings and ambivalence to get into something new. Here, it's like we're accepting, we're slowly opening up. I just feel here this reading is for somebody who's been on the fence or slowly opening up to the potential of something, but it feels like that potential can be really nice. Show me the High Priestess for Sagittarius. So you have the Page of Wands again. So Page of Wands up here and the Page of Wands down here now. Interesting energy. This is go energy. It's energy of communication with somebody, very passionate, very inspired communication. But now we have two people falling into this energy. Two people having inspired in communication that is feeling better about something. And I think that helps somebody open up to the potential for more here. It helps you open up about what you've been holding in, that honest, open communication. That's not bad. Bottom of the deck, you have the Queen of Swords, so air energy again, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, with the King of Swords over here. So it's starting to feel like people are being able to open up and communicate freely with one another. It's starting to feel like you're at least matching on that level, and that's good. Show me the Page of Wands and the Page of Swords. What is the energy between the Page of Wands and the Page of Swords here for what's coming towards Sagittarius? Two of Wands in reverse. So interesting energy. Two of Wands in reverse. This is talking about choosing a path, choosing a direction, communication between two people in regard to decision making. Some of you, this literally may be, where do we go? Where do we move? If you're already in an established relationship where you've been with somebody for quite a while, it's like almost the focus of either moving, or there's energy of that nature, like where you're trying to figure out the situation. What I'm picking up most, though, for this reading is energy where we've been very worried about going further. And this, I want to get to this Nine of Cups now. Show me the Nine of Cups. Why so pensive? Why so hesitant? Show me the Nine of Cups. What's going on here for Sagittarius with this Nine of Cups? Show me the Nine of Cups, please. So you have the Four of Wands for the Nine of Cups. That's not bad at all. Like, it's just kind of a reiteration of stabilizing your foundation, happiness, opening up to the potential of experiencing more. Somebody either has been very hurt about relationships and their immediate reaction is to kind of get into them, but then kind of always have the idea of walking away because their heart has been hurt. And I feel here, Sagittarius, that whomever this is for, there's a necessity here where we need to distance ourselves from that type of energy, break away from that type of energy so it doesn't impede us. It doesn't get in the way of our experiences in the future with people that might actually be very good for us, because I'm not feeling anything bad about this person, really. If this is somebody from the past that you've dealt with, there's a lot of growth that has happened here, a lot of change, and it feels positive. If this is somebody that you've been dating casually, you may be taking it to the next level, and it feels like there's an ambivalence to do that, but we are opening ourselves up to it. Four of Wands is about connection. It's about creation. It's about opening doors. It's about foundations within your life, family, friends, home, stabilization between relationships, taking a relationship to the next level, moving in, engagement, sometimes marriage, depending upon the other cards surrounding it. I don't feel that it's to that point. I feel that it's like next step, next phase, graduation in a relationship, moving up. Show me the Five of Pentacles in reverse for Sagittarius, please. Show me the Five of Pentacles in reverse for Sagittarius. 2 cards. So you have the Queen of, here, hang on. You have the Queen of Wands and the Page of Swords popping up here. So that's good. You know, it's communication. It may be a little bit immature. It may sound immature because of where we're coming from. And I don't mean to say that you're immature. It just may be hard communicating about this type of energy with this person. The Queen of Wands, though, is somebody that doesn't let things stand in her way in regard to the direction that she wants to choose, which she goes in life. So the Queen of Wands, that's you, Sagittarius. Fire energy, most definitely. The Queen of Wands is exuberant about life. She wants to experience life at its fullest. She's excited about it. She's engaged in it. She wants to go. You know, if you're able to talk about your fears to somebody in regard to this, I think you're going to have a better outcome. I think you're going to be more equipped to deal with things if you're able to communicate. Even if we're feeling like our communication is not the greatest, communicate. Learn to communicate with this person. With this Knight of Cups popping up here twice, I feel that the energy here is very positive. It's very emotionally charged. It's very emotionally open and able to connect with you in certain ways that you may have not experienced with other people before. And sometimes we just have to cycle through a lot of frogs till we get somebody that's great. So let's go ahead and do the King of Swords here. Show me the King of Swords for Sagittarius. What's up with the King of Swords at the bottom of the deck? So you have the Seven of Swords in reverse, which is great. Now, if this is somebody from the past, you know, it's letting this go. It is apologies. It's, you know, flushing out this energy. If that's why we're ambivalent, it feels like somebody's changed. This could literally be just somebody who cheated on you in the past, and now that they're trying to open things up and make it better, and it feels like it's genuine. That's what I want to say about that. Not all readings are going to be like that. Most of them are not that way because a lot of people do cheat and they continue to cheat and remain shitty, and it is what it is. This reading, you know, you can't force somebody to change. They will on their own. This reading doesn't feel like that. If somebody has cheated on you in the past and it was like one time, you know, kept you in the dark about it, shut you out about it, you know, not been truthful with you, that's done. It's truth and communication now. But in another way here too, I want to talk to you about being very clear, because we also, ooh, everything's falling out. Hang on. Interesting. Okay, yeah. So they fell out for a reason. All right. So let me just recalibrate here. So the King of Swords and the Seven of Swords in reverse. What I want to talk about this is you have the Ten of Wands at the bottom of the deck. This talks about burden, oppression, frustration, you know, dealing with things of the past that have gotten us to this point, but sometimes we hold on to them. Here, with the King of Swords, this is a clear-cut energy of releasing any ties to the Seven of Swords energy. You know, whether we did that to somebody, the Seven of Swords, lying, stealing, cheating, you know, being deceptive, dishonest, holding information away from somebody that we care about, you know, it's releasing that. It's no longer having the emotional connection to it and cutting it out because we understand that it doesn't serve us in our future relationships. And when I went to go look at this, cards popped out. So I'm going to read these cards here. First off, you have the Nine of Wands. This is talking about defensiveness, but I feel here, instead of utilizing an air of defensiveness in this situation, why don't we, instead of being so defensive, maybe create healthy boundaries, be able to look at situations through the lens of Is this a healthy boundary for me to keep? Is this keeping me stagnant? Am I just running away from people and potentially good situations because I've been hurt in the past? You know, this card talks about being guarded. And mentally just stagnant over and over in your mind as well. Here you have the Eight of Swords, not being able to communicate freely in your mind, stagnancy, creating stories, worries, concerns. And then you have this Knight of Cups with the Ten of Cups. So it's like being very afraid of somebody who wants to share with you something very potentially positive. So, you know, the Ten of Cups talks about emotional abundance, communication and connection with people that are of the same fabric. They want to do the same things with you. And somebody is really trying to give of their energy with this Knight of Cups. They're wanting to offer you something considerable here. So let's go ahead and clarify this reading. I'm sorry, with an oracle from the Nocturna. Show me for Sagittarius. Opossum. Opossum. So let us read about opossum. I love opossums. I used to foster care for opossums. They're so cute, baby opossums, when you feed them grapes. Oh my God, the way that they sound and like chew. Oh, they're delightful. I love opossums. Where are opossums? Opossum. Reaction, stress, de-escalation. The opossum is North America's only marsupial. When confronted with danger, they play dead, laying stiff on the ground and even emitting an unpleasant odor, causing the predator to get confused and leave. This is an automatic, instinctual reaction that the opossum is unable to control. This is a perfect reminder to not let situations get too out of hand. On the other hand, perhaps you need to examine how you react to certain things in difficult circumstances. It is easy to just let your emotions take control and to react in a way that is not helpful. It is important to remember to use your head and act calmly. So pretty much everything we've talked about here. Try not to let worry and concern and fear, from situations that you've experienced get in the way of your connection with others. This immediate block, this frustration, this boundary, this barrier that the other person can feel. It's like, and I feel with Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or the Knight of Cups, even if it's not a water sign, the energy of that card is somebody who is open to connection with you. They're open to feeling with you. They're open to talking about communication and emotions with you. Sagittarius, if you or somebody that you're dealing with has been locked up and blocked out as far as their emotions go, because this is a very happy card. And here we are having a very difficult time accessing that happiness. We have a sea of emotions behind us. It looks like there's icebergs in the background. It's like somebody who's been emotionally disconnected or cut off or like very icy because of what they've experienced in the past. And they're sitting alone on a bench contemplating this potential for non-love, and the potential for walking away. But then it's like we have so much more potential here. So this looks very positive. It just looks like somebody who's gone through the ringer in life with relationships and feelings, and somebody who may need to connect a bit more with that. But it looks like you also have somebody here that can connect with you about that. So, all right. I hope that this reading was helpful for you, Sagittarius. If it was, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And I will be back in a couple of weeks for your mid-June reading for 2019. And for those of you that have donated, there's a link in the description box below if you choose to donate. I really appreciate that. It's incredibly kind of you. I value it, and you are aces. Thank you for that. It's very helpful. I appreciate it very much. So I will talk to you guys soon. I hope everything's well. Bye-bye.